Window shopping. Welcome to today's cloudism, which we translate into I'm moving from wanting into having. Cloudisms are everyday words and phrases that I've coined to help us mentally reframe a situation, emotionally regulate ourselves, and get in touch with the spiritual now moment. Hi, Claudia Cauterucci, and I'm a Washington, D.C. based psychotherapist. I'm a psychospiritual coach, and I'm a fellow life traveler. So let's jump right in. So, window shopping is the word that I use to describe when we're constantly, unconsciously, inadvertently looking at situations from the outside and longing for them. When we're outside of that window and saying to ourselves, oh, I really want that. They call it the little match girl syndrome. If you know the fable of the little match girl who is outside in the cold, in rags, and looking inside into these homes, these hearths with a fireplace and food, and the family's all together, and the dog is sleeping by the fireplace, right? This sensation of, I don't have what's over there. And this can be a very real feeling. I've lived with that for many, many, many years, is this sense of deep longing and wanting because possibly we didn't have as children. We were missing. We were looking at other families who had what we didn't have. We were looking at other kids who had clothes and shoes and things that we didn't have. People who had loves, or it seemed like things came easy to them. So it created a habit, a psychological, emotional, and mental habit of always being in longing, or how I like to say in the dynamic meditation method, in wanting. So let's go with some keywords here. Keywords are perceptual field. For some of you, the law of attraction will be important. Let's talk about why. There were several studies, and I use them a lot. I use them in my book of people who either had groups that either had anxiety or depression. And the studies, what they did with these folks was they would show them movies, maybe a rom-com. It turns out that after the study, people with depression would primarily remember the parts of the rom-com that were sad. The breakup scenes, the walking alone in the rain scenes. That's what they would remember. That was what was in their perceptual field. That's what they honed in on because of the state they were in. But the anxious folks, what they remember were the danger scenes, were the scenes that included uncertainty, not knowing what was going to happen, places where they were on the edge of their seat, but in a highly anxious state. Again, that was their perceptual field. Okay. It's a chicken or an egg situation. If we're coming from this perceptual field, we will only see, including the law of attraction, and then bring to us those types of situations. We will pull to us. In a situation where there's people laughing, we might always window shop. We might always feel like we're the person outside longing and wanting. I'll give you a few examples. A really benign example of perceptual field is you decide that you're going to buy a Jeep. You're getting obsessed over a Jeep, and all of a sudden you start seeing Jeeps everywhere. That's a really easy example, and it's benign, but it starts to prove that because you've honed in on this visual, you will start to see it. You will create it. You will attract it. Another example of this is, let's say you are in your first interracial relationship. You've never been with someone from another race before. What will happen is all of a sudden you will start to see in your perceptual field other couples that are in an interracial relationship. Or let's say you want to get pregnant. You want to get pregnant. All of a sudden, you'll start seeing all the pregnant women on the street. So it's a chicken and egg situation. This is what you're wanting. This is what you're longing for. So you start to see it. And some would say, right, through the law of attraction, we start to pull it to us. Okay. So it also tracks with the phrase, where my attention goes, energy flows. This is true for parenting. If I'm attuned to my child, this child will start to feel energetically robust, loved, adored, right? If I start to worry about the politics, for example, is a really good example. If I'm always watching the news, right? So that's in my perceptual field. I will start seeing danger, political danger everywhere. Track it for yourself. This is an experiment you can do for yourself. I know you know it. So if you're always window shopping for the love that you don't, it creates situations where that's all you're seeing. You're seeing how your girlfriends are getting married, how everyone is moving into having, because you're in a wanting position. So wanting creates more wanting. And in the dynamic meditation method, I describe wanting as an energy. And maybe you could do the exercise right now. If you really say, what am I wanting? You can actually feel like it's like an emptiness, or it's a longing inside of you. Here, maybe in the chest. For some of you, it might be in the belly. Now, what I want you to do is also think of something that you already have. You might have food in the fridge. You might have the car that you want. What is something you already have? Now, get in touch with that feeling, because the energies of wanting and having are very different. What are the things to do around this? When we're in wanting, we will be looking for things that we are longing. We will see them everywhere. So you have to establish the intention. The intention. I am going to start looking for things that I know I can have. You want to start with little baby steps. You want to become the observer. This we use in meditation, we use in dynamic meditation a ton. This is one of the modules that I work on the most, of moving from wanting into having. Because by the time people really know this exercise, they start to get all the things that they want by moving this longing, window shopping energy out of themselves. Become the observer. Notice your internal state of wanting, and notice how you're looking at situations. Are you looking at your friend who got a boyfriend and window shopping? The first is to identify the energy. And you're going to say to yourself, can I let go of this wanting feeling so that I can move into having? The answer is yes. Now, even if you don't feel it, once you start training the observer to identify with intention the wanting feeling, the little Matchgirl syndrome, the window shopping, once you start training your mind to catch it, and ask yourself, can I move from this wanting feeling so that I can move into? And you're going to say, yes. Number 2, journal. Journal all the things that you do. Make it a part of your day. And it is similar to a gratitude list. They can go hand in hand, but I want you to be more specific again, because you're training, right? Mentally reframing your mind, which will emotionally regulate that wanting feeling. And want you to write down all the things that you have. I have heat. I have shelter. I have a job. I have a fridge with things that I want to eat. I have towels that I love after I get out of the shower. I have hot and cold water. Doesn't matter. Start to list what are you doing? You're training the mind to move from wanting into having. Number 3, notice envy or jealousy. Envy or jealousy are a way of projecting our wants out there. And so when you turn around and look at it, you're going to say, what is it that I'm wanting here? If you're envying someone's situation, it actually signals something that you believe you have. Notice it. And jealousy is about being possessive of something you already have. Like, I have this person and I'm jealous because I'm afraid I'm going to lose them, which is a disguised form of wanting. Because wanting equals lack. So it feels like I'm going to lose this person. That's a lacking wanting feeling. It's a different way of window shopping. It's a way of receiving things, having someone next to us, but always being afraid that we're going to go back to that window shopping Matchgirl syndrome. I spend a lot of time on this in the dynamic meditation method when I'm teaching it. So please, when you write a comment, when you like, when you share, when you subscribe, let me know what you think of this, and I'm happy to answer questions in the comment section. But in the meantime, if you know someone who might benefit from this information, please share it with them. And I'll see you in the next Cloudism.